So young Philly as of recently has been all over news headlines. If you've been blissfully unaware, you might not know that young Philly has had some serious allegations levied against him recently in Australia. Due to these serious claims, he ended up getting arrested and then later released on bail, but one of his bail conditions is that he can't leave Australia. From what we're hearing about this situation from mainstream news outlets, it's a very grotesque and slow situation at the moment, with updates about it coming out almost daily at this point. And over the past few days especially, we've been hearing a lot more about the conditions of this said bail, the time frame of what's going on currently, and some more details about the case in general. Alongside this, like with every mainstream allegation like this, people have gone back to see what dirt they can dig up on young Philly, with a lot of that being pushed out on the internet, and even some of it being pushed into mainstream media, with some really disgusting headlines being put out there about some actions that Philly's being accused of. But firstly, I'd like to dive into some of the brand new updates that we know about these allegations. We're currently being told by mainstream outlets that Philly has moved into a long-term residence in Australia and that he could possibly be there for up to 2 years. It can't be stressed how long 2 years is, especially spending 2 years in a country that, you weren't raised in. That's not where Philly lives. I feel like this is a very unique situation and set of allegations for an influencer especially. Usually when there are allegations against influencers, this is all dealt with online, and by the time they go to the police, a lot of the stuff they're bringing is admissible because of, the influence and the backlash that creator's received online. So I'm more than glad to see that this situation and set of allegations that are really extreme are being dealt with in the best way possible by law enforcement and are being tackled in the most appropriate and sensitive way. But that isn't all we've heard about the condition with young Philly. We've also heard some brand new details about the situation and what's currently going on. Philly attack. Shock pics show violent acts carried out by young Philly during R that go beyond consent, prosecutors said. Shocking pictures from the young Philly court case allegedly show the aftermath of violent acts carried out by the YouTuber, say prosecutors. From what the prosecutors are saying and the media and all these outlets are saying, it does seem like they have quite a bit of evidence against young Philly, which is slowly stacking up against him. I'm very intrigued with, of course, young Philly's bail and his influence and these set of allegations and everything that's going on, how all of this will pan out. Western Australia police prosecutor is leading the case and claims prosecutors have photographs of alleged victim, which shows a history of what we say is violent acts. The prosecutor told the court during Philly's first hearing this month that no ordinary person could consent to what the images allegedly show. This really does paint the picture to everybody reading this and, looking into this case, that what's happened here is just genuinely disgusting and that there are no words for it. It appears all of this is shaping up to be a really disgusting case, and hopefully justice is served where it needs to be served. Of course, it goes without saying, but with situations like this, with such extreme and serious allegations, we need to make sure a situation like this is dealt with in the best way possible. The prosecutor added, "We say those photos and what is alleged in the allegation is effectively beyond the pale, beyond the norm of what could be considered or entertained to be a consensual act." What the actions of Philly has been described here is almost as inhumane, that what Philly has done is so extreme that it's being described as something that, no human could do. I'm genuinely really taken aback by some of the stuff that I'm reading in these articles. There's always allegations online consistently, and I'm someone that covers them a lot, but the details coming out about this and how it's been described are chilling. Prosecutors also say they've seen CCTV footage that confirms Philly was with the woman on September 28th when she alleges the assault took place. I'm not saying this makes him guilty or anything, because, this hasn't even gone to trial probably yet, but, being placed right at the time of, the alleged crime that was committed with the alleged victim, it doesn't exactly look good. It's like every update with this situation doesn't make Philly look any better, it makes him look just entirely worse. I haven't seen one shred of information on any of these articles that to me makes Philly look any better whatsoever. Of course, there's two sides to every story, but from what's being shown and what the prosecutors are saying, it is not looking good for Philly whatsoever. The court heard that the 20-year-old woman was seen leaving a venue with Philly as investigators tried to pinpoint the exact location of the pair. Initial reports say it is likely to be outside the Bar 1 nightclub where Philly was performing and his accuser was partying with a friend. It's been really interesting to see not only the reaction from Philly's former friends like Chunks, AngryGinge and people like that, but also his audience and fans, with a lot of them not siding with Philly whatsoever. Of course, what I say to people is, wait for both sides, wait to see what's coming out, etc. But people aren't siding with Philly. Of course, you're always going to get the few that are, but the overwhelming majority of fans are not siding with Philly whatsoever. Additional footage goes on to show the woman leaving another building alone, which may be the hotel where the alleged offences took place. So it does appear to be that they are working on a timeline of events, what happened and where, which is really good to see that they're making such progress. But those seem to be the major updates and new pieces of information that are coming out about the situation. But there was an article and headline that I did want to take a look at around Philly that recently came out on The Sun. Philly shame. Young Philly promised to support my terminally ill son 12 in poignant video. Then rapper told him to shut up and ghosted us. When serious allegations about an influencer come out, there's always people usually jumping on the bandwagon of said, allegations to try and boost themselves, to try and get their 15 minutes of fame by coming up with a story with them and Young Philly, or them and whoever else that, may not be entirely true. But here, I genuinely want to hear them out, because that is a pretty big thing to lie about if that is the case. Which I don't think it is the case. I don't think they're necessarily lying here whatsoever. Maybe they've just got their wires crossed, but immediately when you open up this article, you're hit with 2 videos attached, which, just confirm that, Young Philly did reach out to this kid who is terminally ill.
Mason! I know, innit? This is probably a little surprise for you, but I just wanted to say I hope you're well. Also, thank you for watching my videos. I wish you a speedy recovery, my guy. Tough times never last.
And Philly goes on to wish him a well recovery, give him some support and encouragement, and then even offers to, hopefully when the kid's a little bit better, that they can hop on and play some Fortnite. And of course, this is a pretty wholesome message, and the other video attached is the child's reaction to this. Of course, he's really excited, and of course you would be in that situation if you're going through such a health struggle, and, one of your favorite content creators has reached out to you, of course, and, has offered to play one of your favorite games with you. But things took a turn when Mason, who has followed the influencer for years, tried to reach out to him. Kelly said when Mason attempted to respond to Young Philly on social media, he was cruelly ignored or shut down by one of his people. She added, it came up one day that Philly was live on TikTok, and Mason then said hello to him via the chat at the bottom, but he was ignoring people and speaking to people through Twitch. If that's all it was, I would just say that seems like it's more accidental than anything else. He's got thousands of people chatting in his live stream, and probably one message from, as unfortunate as it is, this kid is probably going to go under the radar. Mason went and got a Twitch account, and he started trying to talk to Philly and said, hi, it's Mason, you sent me this video. And all he got was abuse from his mods, people monitoring comments. It's like Philly has this ring around him. One of them was so rude to Mason, it was telling him to go away, so I then took the device of Mason. Then a couple of days later, Philly was back on Twitch, playing games with people, so Mason went in again and said something like, hi, it's Mason, do you remember me, my kidney appeal? And Philly said, Mason, just shut up. I was with Mason and just thought, how dare he? Now, I don't know about you, but he probably doesn't know that many Masons that are, chronically sick with, kidney issues. Of course, there is no screen recorded clip of this bit of the stream attached, and I've seen a lot of people arguing that, people will come into his chats and just stream his chats in general all the time and say, I'm sick, just so they can get a bit of attention. But, I feel like Philly would remember this kid. And even if he didn't, you just don't respond to a comment like that just out of fear that, they could possibly be telling the truth. You've just told some poor kid to shut up. Of course, this is nowhere near as bad as the allegations that are being levied against him and all the stuff in Australia, but this just kind of paints Philly's character if this is true. Of course, take this with a pinch of salt because we don't have the screen recorded bit of the stream that would prove this. But I really don't know if a mother of a very, very, very sick child would lie about something like this. That is everything currently going on with the Young Philly situation and stuff that is being revealed to us, the general public. I will continue to be making updates on this situation when actual information comes out, so if you would like to see that, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. But I've been your host Samuel, and I will catch you in the next YouTube video.